Welcome back, guys. It is a championship racing once again here at SARCO, proudly brought to you by Thrustmaster. We're around number 3 of the GT3 Open Class, and we're head to the Portuguese Track Algarve. The race is set for 22 laps, with the qualifying being determined by a 15-minute qualifier. The race will be at night, so it definitely will make for some interesting racing. So let's take a look at the starting lineup. In 15th place is Yolan for Sennheiser Racing. He's in the 176 M6. In 14th place is Rudy, he too from Sennheiser Racing. He's in the 177 M6. Moving to 13th place, we have Jacques S. He's from TTR and he's in the 38 Bentley. We move forward to row number 6. In 12th place is a Shake and Bakes driver, Ronaldo. He's in the 64 Audi and he's just behind Dylan, who's in 11th place for the Black Mambas, and he's in the number 12 Audi. We move forward to row number 5, and in 10th place is Ash for the Cape Town boys. He is in the 27 Aston Martin. In 9th position is TTR driver Dupi. He's driving in the number 37 Bentley. Moving forward to row number 4. In 8th place is the Tosco 1 driver Dirkie. He's in the number 9 Audi and he is alongside his stable partner Gerard from Tosco 2. He's in 7th place in the 28 Audi. We move forward to row number 3, and in 6th place is Jacques V. He's with Project Cat Racing in the 157 Lamborghini, and here's that yellow decal over the driver's side. Here's just behind the 5th place driver Jared for Tornado Force. Jared, he too in a Lamborghini, driving in number 67. We move forward to row number 2. In 4th place is the Black Mamba driver Jakes. He's in the 14 Audi and he's alongside Ross, the Project Cat driver. Ross is in number 158 and he too in a Lamborghini. We move to the front row. In 2nd place is Bruno for Silverback Racing. Bruno is in the 186 Cadillac and he is behind the pole sitter Scholl for Tosca 1, driving in the number 6 Audi. So now that we've got the lineup up and ready, we're able to get this race number 3 underway. Now we wait for the lights, red lights, green lights, and off we go. A little bit of a lag there coming off the start, but the guys moving for position. Scholl moves to the inside, but Bruno, he now goes to the outside. Then Ross, he's just dropped down a place, so Jared's made a great start. Jared was down in 5th place. He's now put himself into 4th. But we see a little contact in the background there. Little Project Cat Racing just having the Tornado Force, just having a little bounce there. But it doesn't seem like there's too much damage. Coming down the main straights, preparing for turn number 7. So just jumping back to the jumping back to turn number 1, we see that we've got Ronaldo on the inside. That is Ash having a little touch there. Unfortunately, that pushes Ash into Dupi. Dupi here unfortunately gets that rear to start loosening up, and as it catches once again, it goes into Dylan. That then throws Dylan back into Ronaldo, sending Ronaldo off, and the 2 BMW drivers, they make it through the pinball action without any problems. On board with Dirkie coming into Torrebruck, turn number 6. Dirkie making a move on the inside there for Jacques Vermeulen. But there's Jacques, he's fighting back as they come through turn number 7. Well, extremely close there, but Jacques having the inside, or a little sideways action for both the drivers as they have a little look coming up over the hill. Down through turn number 10, Craig Jones, turn number 10, Dirkie's got a little bit sideways, he'll rejoin. We'll just have a look on the inside. He's managed to stay in front of Gerard. Looked like Gerard had a little spin there. Just wanted to go back just to make sure. We see that Gerard just gets on the curb, gets that power on, unfortunately losing the rear. So we jump to our race leader, Scholl. He's closely followed by Bruno. Bruno in that 158 Cadillac. Just behind Bruno is Jakes. Then Jared. He's up to a 4th place, having started 5th on the grid. As Scholl, he will cross the line. We'll take a look at the current positions. So Scholl leads with Bruno 2nd, Jakes is 3rd, Jared is in 4th place with Jacques Vermeulen, he's in 5th. Ross is in 6th place with Dirkie 7th. Rudy, he's up to 8th place. Jacques, he's in 9th place with Dupi in 10th. Gerard is 11th. Ash in 12th place. Ronaldo, he's in 13th with Dylan in 14th and Yolan down in 15th position. So a jump back slightly into see the action what's happening in 3rd place. Jakes is starting to get some attention by Jared. Well, Jakes getting a little bit sideways, a little tap on the rear. Very unfortunate there. Looks like Jakes just lost the back. Jared had so much momentum coming back over the hill there, coming out of Samsung turn number 9. But now Jared has got the 2 Project Cat Lamborghinis right on him, followed by Dirkie right at the back there. We just saw Jake, so he's not quite out this battle just yet. Great little move there. We saw Dirkie trying to go around the outside. We'll just keep here to see where they got it. Unfortunately not. That Jacques was able to keep that attack at bay. Jared, he will peel away to go into the pits. I'm thinking just to repair some of the damage after the contact on the rear of Jakes. So across the finish line to begin lap number 3. That is Jacques V from Project Cat. Just behind him is his teammate Ross. Just behind them is the Tosco 1 driver Dirkie, trying to find a way to get around the Lamborghinis. There's Jakes in his Audi as they exit out of turn number 5. Then hard into this Torre Vip turn number 6. Ross is starting to close that gap down on his teammate. Little flash there. I wonder if there weren't any team orders there. Through turn number 8. So over the hill, Jacques V, he leads his teammate Ross. Just in the background there, that is Dirkie. It seems like the team orders have come into play. Ross moving through, but that's allowed Dirkie to get through. Ross has gone wide. He's now come off, he's gone a bit slow. Oh, might be a touch. Oh, Ross has been taken out by his teammate. Big impact there from Jakes onto the back of Ross. Not quite sure what had actually happened there, but I'm sure both Ross and Jakes are really not going to be happy with what happened there. Both those cars, you can see Ross trying to keep that car on the track. A massive impact. So we cross the line with our 2nd place driver Bruno. We'll go with him as we take a tour. So he comes through in Primera, straight into turn number 3. On the right hand side was actually turn number 2. Now into the hairpin and Lagos, hard on the power, up over the hill into turn number 5. And unfortunately in the replay we are not getting the actual gears that Bruno is using, but for me this would be down into 1st gear, hard on the power and very quickly back up the hill through turn number 7. Wait for the green patch, turn in, gear down, back on the power, hard on the brakes into Samsung, down into 2nd gear, power back on. Flat out over the hill, down through turn, Craig Jones turn number 10. Now for Portimao, wait for the little box, brake, turn in, down 2nd gear, back on the power. flat out through the kink in turn number 12. Hairpin turn number 13 down to second gear. Get the power on as early as possible, get as far left as possible, green part, brake in, turn down to second, flat out from here. Out of turn 14, Sagrej, then into Gulf, flat out, keep the pedal down, let the car just go over the rise. You'll find the grip just before you exit, and across the line. So in shot the 10th place driver, Dylan, he's starting to make way here on the M6 driver, that is Rudy for Synergy Racing. The guys coming into turn number 13. Well, Rudy's gone a little bit wide. That's made it very easy for Dylan to get on the inside, put their power on. Coming out of Sagrej, Dylan having pitted on the first lap after taking some of the damage through the pinball action that we had going into turn number 1. The Dylan will cross the line to begin his 6th lap. So we don't normally have the two Bentley drivers together for TTR, because the last couple of races one of the drivers has generally either had an off or had some contact. But it's great to see the TTR drivers currently circulating in 5th and 6th respectively. So Jacques is currently in 5th, and in shot the driver Duppy in car number 37. The TTR drivers deciding to rather take the closest number as opposed to taking the closest liveries. Just behind them we saw Gerard. He unfortunately had that a little spin coming through Portimao on lap number 1. So Gerard is currently in 7th place. We're on lap number 6 coming through. Torre Vip is the race leader. Scholl. We'll take a look at the current positions. So Scholl leads with Bruno 2nd, Durkee is in 3rd place with Jacques V in 4th, Jacques S in 5th place with Duppy in 6th, Gerard is in 7th place with Jared in 8th, Dylan is in 9th place with Rudy in 10th, Yolan 11th, Jake's down in 12th place after that a massive impact between himself and Ross. Ash, he's in 13th place, Ross down in 14th, and Ronaldo, he's now circulating in 15th position. In shot is our tornado force driver, that is Jared. He having made a very early pit stop after some contact going up in the back of Jake's. Jake's unfortunately having a loss it coming through Samsung, and Jared going right up behind him. So Jared currently in 7th position, having already pitted. We'll just need to see whether he has the pace to get through the field while the other guys make their pits. Remember, we do have a mandatory pit stop here in this race, and you need to take it any time within the first 21 laps of 22. Lap 7, and Gerard from Tosca 2 is starting to put a lot of pressure on the Bentley. Duppy starting to just lose some pace there. We can just see the Bentleys in the straight line are just so strong, and this is exactly where Gerard will start catching, is through the tight twisty bits. The Bentleys just struggle to get that power on. We'll just keep it with the guys here as they go through turn number 8. Will Gerard be able to tighten up, go on the inside? Not yet. Down the hill towards Craig Jones, turn number 10. Got a little bit earlier on the brakes. I think he knows that the Bentley needs a little bit more stopping power. Down the hill, flat out through turn number 12. We'll have a look on the inside. No, still too far away. Gerard just waiting for an opportunity. Just see just a little bit of oversteer from the Bentley, and that would allow Gerard to get the power down. Will he follow him flat out here through Gulp? Gerhard taking a much tighter line. Gerhard tucks in behind Duppy going past the start-finish line. They're coming up over the hill. That is Jared. Will you have a look on the inside? No, still too far away. That Bentley in the straight line speed is very quick. Gerhard moves to the inside here on the brakes coming into turn 4 Lagos. Great move there by Gerhard. He used the handling of the Audi to his advantage, and you can see how he got such a great drive that he is now unfortunately left Duppy behind. So crossing the line to begin a lap number 9. This is currently Durkee. So Durkee will unfortunately serve a 1 race ban due to the contact he had on the leader of the Long Beach race. So Durkee, he unfortunately will serve that ban in the Fiji race. Durkee getting a little bit wide coming out of turn number 5. Very interesting turn that, because you are accelerating, holding it flat coming out, and if you do just touch a little bit of the curb, it does pull you off. So we race with our race leader Charles as he comes out of turn number 15. As he crosses the line, we will bring up the current positions. So Charles leads here on lap number 10 with Bruno 4 seconds behind him. Durkee, he is in 3rd place with Jacques V currently in 4th. Jacques S for TTR, he's in 5th place with Gerhard having moved himself up into 6th. Jared, he too has got himself past Duppy. Jared is now in 8th place and Duppy down into 8th. Dylan, he's currently in 9th place with Jakes in 10th. Ash is in 11th place with Yolan in 12th. Rudy, he's in 13th place with Ross in 14th, and Ronaldo down in 15th position. And Jared in the Lamborghini. As they go into Samsung, Jared moves himself into the inside. He left it wide open, and then we saw the Bentley on the infield there. Unfortunately, Jacques having a slight lack of concentration and put it on the dirt. And that's allowed a very easy overtake for Jared. He now finds himself 2 positions up from 3 corners ago. So in shots is our 15th place driver, Ronaldo. He's unfortunately called it a day. Just struggling with the tires on the car, unfortunately. Ronaldo, we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Halfway through this race on lap number 11, Gerhard is starting to just lose some time here on Jared. Jared really coming together now and starting to open that gap. We'll just bring up the positions quickly. Charles leads with Bruno 2nd, Durkee is 3rd, Jared is 4th with Gerhard in 5th. Duppy is in 6th place with Jacques S in 7th. Jacques V is in 8th, Dylan 9th, Jakes 10th, Ash 11th, Rudy is in 12th. Yolan, is in 12th place with Rudy 13th, Ross 14th, and Ronaldo unfortunately having called it a day. We just jump back to get a shot of the Aston Martin car number 27, and that is Ash. Ash racing for the Cape Town boys. Just in front of him he has the Black Mamba driver Jakes. As really manhandling this car, trying everything he can to close that gap down on the Black Mamba in front of him. Ash looking really good coming out of turn number 15. See Ash just tucking in behind the Audi. So currently this race is a little bit out of sync, as we do have half the field have already pitted due to some contact in the early stages of this race. So the closing minutes will definitely make things very interesting. We'll just keep it in shot here as we watch this Aston Martin going flying down that back straight. And then back up the hill. In shot, the second place driver in the 186 Cadillac is Bruno. Bruno will peel off to the right, engage his pit limiter. You can see how he was just fighting those brakes to get that car stopped in time. I do want to bring up the timing. We can see Durkee is currently 6 seconds behind him. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So Durkee, he will go past. We now see Jared is 13 seconds behind Bruno. That's a 10. 9 seconds. So Bruno is away 3 seconds. 1 second, and there's Jared. He now goes past. There goes Gerard. So Gerard, he now moves himself ahead of Bruno as well. So Bruno, having been second in this race, he is now dropped down to 5th. We know that Jared has already pitted, so Bruno has got everything to fight for to now close that gap on Jared and get himself ahead of him. 4th place driver Gerard coming into Portimao. Oh, he's touched the inside curb. He's done exactly the same thing he did on lap number 1. There's the lights in the background. That's Bruno. Bruno will now go around Gerard and move himself up into 4th place. That unfortunately puts Gerard down into 5th. Gerard really not comfortable with that corner. I think just taking a little bit of too much curve on the inside there, getting that power on. Unfortunately loosening up that rear and taking him all the way around. So with that, Gerard goes into the pits. We just watch the timings. Here comes the Jacques. So Jacques V will go past. Dylan will go past. One more second, and then Jacques S, he will now go past. Not sure what happened. No, that explains it, because Jacques S here decided to actually come into the pits as well, so he's now gone ahead of Gerard. But we'll see that Jacques, he will peel away into his pit box. No, Jacques actually managed to go in and out the pits quicker than Gerard. Oh, there was Jakes going around the outside. So both Jacques and Gerard have put themselves right in between the battle of Jakes and Ash. And in the background there is the race leader, Scholl. So these guys are currently fighting for positions 9 and 10. There's Ash moving out the way for the race leader. So on board with Gerard, trying very hard to get himself around Jacques. Now coming down into turn number 10. Much a wider line there for Gerard. He was a little bit later on the acceleration there. We'll have a little look here on the inside. Oh, flames flying. Right up behind that Bentley. Opportunity here on the inside. Let the car tighten up, put your accelerator back down. You've got a much better drive than the Bentley did. Will you be able to follow him down the hill, get that slipstream going into turn number 1? Well, Jacques gone a little bit wide. Jacques still there. We'll have a look side by side. We watch as the guys come into turn number 1. So Gerard made that exit. Oh, he's unfortunately got it wrong coming into turn 1. That's allowed Jacques to get the place back. In the background there in the number 6 Audi, that is our race leader, Scholl. into the braking zone. Jacques S. Gerard, then our race leader. Will they move to the inside to allow Charles to go through into turn number 7? Gerard now closing that gap again on the Bentley. Looked like Jacques was going to go wide, but he tightened up right at the end there. So Ash is still fighting very hard to stay on the end of this battle. But here comes the race leader. Gerard is not giving up on having a Jacques in front of him. We'll see the three of them coming out of turn and number 15. Scholl attacking in behind. But Gerard is having a go once again on the Bentley coming into turn 1. Will he make the move stick this time? Yes, he does. So Jacques also moves out of the way to allow the race leader to go by. And Gerard will move to the inside, just come off the power, and he will allow the race leader to go past. A little bit further up the field, this is the battle for 5th and 6th. We are currently on lap number 16. Dylan in the Audi is got on to the rear of the Lamborghini of the Project Cat racer Jacques V. They across the line to begin lap number 17, 5 laps to go. Dylan using every little inch that he can on this track. Flat out through turn number 5. You see Dylan just closing that gap down ever so slightly. Dylan tucks up behind him coming through turn number 7. Very neat and tidy for both the drivers going through Samsung turn number 9. Up over the hill, down the dip, flat out through turn number 10. The Jacques going very wide into Portimao. Then have a little look on the inside, but not close enough to actually make an attack. He tries to get right up behind him coming through turn and number 14. We jump on board with Dylan coming through turn number 15. Dylan trying to get the slipstream benefit, but he's just not reeling in this Lamborghini. Hard on the brakes, turn and number 1. Still Dylan's not able to get his car in an attacking position. Flat out through turn number 5. Down the hill for Torre Vip. Dylan has a look on the inside, but Jacques just closes the door. Single file through turn number 7. back over the hill. Jacques got a great exit there. Dylan just losing some momentum coming up over the hill there. Dylan running himself a little bit wide, and it seems that Jacques has been able to get away for now. Coming up over the ridge, that is the race leader, Charles. We take a look at the current position. So Charles leads with Dirkie in second place. Jared, he's in third with Bruno fourth. Jacques in fifth. Dylan chasing in sixth place. Jakes is in seventh with Carrot in eighth. Jacques is in ninth place with Ash in 10th. Ross 11th. Yolan, he's in 12th place with Rudy in 13 and Ronaldo retiring. And unfortunately, guys, our race will end there on lap number 20. Jared, currently the driver we have in view, he will come home for a dramatic win with Charles pitting on the last lap and Gerald overtaking him about 4 seconds. Charles just not able to come back. Charles finishes in a second place with Bruno in fourth. Dirkie will come home in a respectable fourth with Jacques v. him defending Dylan. Dylan finishing in a sixth place with Gerard in seventh. Jakes will finish in 8th with Jacques S in 9th place. Ash will finish in 10th. Ross 11th. Yolan will bring it home ahead of his teammate in 12th. Rudy finishes in 13 and Ronaldo unfortunately retiring. So thank you guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, give our video a like, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit the notification button. That will allow you to be notified of any new replays that have been posted, as well as any of our live streams. Our next race will be in 2 weeks time, so please don't forget to tune in, watch our live stream, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, yos.